Hey guys, Dr. Goodin here to show you how to use SPSS, and specifically in this video we'll take a look at how to calculate descriptive statistics after we import a dataset from Excel. Okay, so if you don't already have it open, go ahead and open up SPSS on your laptop and you can download this dataset from the link in the video description. Alright, let's dive right into it. Alright, so here we are in SPSS, and the first thing you'll notice is that there are two tabs for different types of views. Now this is the data view, and this just looks like a normal spreadsheet, but if we click on variable view, you'll actually see across the top there are already some headings on these columns. So let's input some data and take a look at what happens. So if I just start typing in some random numbers, notice that what SPSS does is it already gives me this variable name at the top. It just calls it VAR 00001 or variable 1. And if I do the same thing in these other columns, it will keep naming my variables var1, var2, var3, etc. And if we go into the variable view, now we have some variables populated, and you'll see that now these variables occupy a row, and all of these columns for each variable allow you to manipulate different characteristics of this variable. So the first thing to look at is the variable name. Let's change this. Maybe this could be a coach's player ranking. So we might call this player underscore rank. And I typed an underscore instead of a space right there because SPSS does not allow spaces in the variable names. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. So let's just name that first one player rank, and this is numeric data. It could be dates that we're collecting, it could be currencies, but it is numeric, so we will leave it as numeric. And for the width column, this is just how many characters wide this variable can be, but because it's not a nominal variable, we're not using a string of text, that we can leave the width as 8. Let's decrease the decimals down to 0 because you wouldn't rank a player as 2.5 or 3.75. We would use integers, and we don't need to use labels here or values. However, if we wanted to input, let's say we input sex, and maybe it was male and female, we could enter some values where the value of 1 would equal female, and we'll add that, and the value of 2 would equal male. And in this case, this is a nominal variable. It's not that females are first place or that males are twice as good as females. You could use any number. Male could be 0, female could be 1. It's just a nominal variable, and then we would input that value label. So we'll hit OK. And let's move over to the type of measure. So any good stats book will tell you there are 4 different types of data as far as data classification, and if you remember the no oil in rivers, then you'll remember that they are nominal, ordinal, no oil in interval and ratio data. But in SPSS, it takes interval and ratio data and it combines them into scale data. So let's say that player rank, it's not scale data, right, because it's the coach ranking the data, so it would be ordinal data. Okay, and then sex would be, of course, nominal data. And let's just get rid of this variable 3. So let's go back here, we'll get rid of these values, and you'll notice that now we have player rank over here and sex, and that's how you input variables. But in this video, what we want to do is we want to calculate descriptive statistics. So instead of typing all this stuff in, let me show you how to import a data set. Okay, and you'll find that data set linked in the video description. So we want to go up to File, then Import from Excel, and I will select this back squat 1RM data and click Open. Now SPSS has this nice little window that comes up asking you which tab to open and how you want SPSS to read the data. And so you can read through these. I just usually leave it as is. If your data set is a little bit messy, you could click this to remove leading spaces from string values. Maybe there's a space that was left in tabs. Now once you scroll through this and make sure this is the data that you want to import, and I will click OK. And what SPSS just did, this is actually now the output window. Now it's showing me the two different windows. So what we had been working on is this variable editor right here in this dataset editor, and then this is the output. I can close this old, let's not save it, don't save. Okay, so now that I have expanded this data set to where I want it, I have to clean it up a little bit because in that Excel file there used to be some data in these other columns, and SPSS is just thinking that there are variables here, so I will go to the variables and I'll actually delete these. So I'll just highlight all of these, right click, and click clear. Now let's make sure that my back squat 1RM data is set up the way I want it. Let's go ahead and put an underscore in between these words and delete kilograms. It is numeric data. The width is 4, that's fine. Decimals is 0, that's fine because we didn't go to the 10th place with kilograms. We just kept it at whole values. And this looks good. It is scaled data. Very good. Okay, so let's go back to data view and we'll take a look. Okay. There's all of my data. Now, there are 3 different ways to compute descriptive statistics in SPSS, and I'll show you all 3 of them in this video. For all of them, you want to start by going up to Analyze, and then with this first one, we will go to Descriptive Statistics, and we will click on Descriptives. Now you'll get used to this window that pops up. The variables will be in the left, on the left side, and then you select which variables you want to move into this particular analysis. So in this case we just have the one variable, so let's move back squat 1RM over. And there's a couple different options we can select. Let's go to this options button, and we want the means, we want standard deviations. Let's check the variance and range as well. We could get the standard error of the mean, so why not? We'll learn about that in future videos. For now, let's ignore kurtosis and skewness. We'll come back to that later. And let's hit continue. And then one more really cool thing I want to do is click this right here. I'll check this box, save standardized values as variables. Okay, so let's click OK. And you'll notice what happens is that my output window pops open. Let's just expand this. And look right here, we have our descriptives. Now we can see the total sample size was 1,000. We have that big range from all the way from 6 kilograms to 224, which is a range of 218 kilograms. The mean, as we calculated previously in Excel, is 100.13 kilograms. We also have the standard error of the mean, 0.946, with our big standard deviation that we saw, 29.9, so almost 30 kilograms, and then our variance statistic as well. All right, now those are our basic descriptives for this variable, but let's check out what happened over here in our data set. So when I checked that box to calculate standardized variables, it gave me z-scores for each of these scores. So now every score has a corresponding z-score, which is just phenomenal. If you want to quickly calculate z-scores on a whole bunch of variables, you could add them all into that analysis window, check to save the standardized scores, and then hit run, and then you have all of the z-scores for those different variables. In this case, we just had the one variable, but still very helpful because it did this for all 1,000 scores. Now let's look at the second way that we can compute descriptive statistics. We go back up to Analyze at the top, come down to Descriptive Statistics again, and this time instead of looking into descriptives, we'll click Frequencies. Now frequencies will give us some nice graphs to interpret as well. So let's bring back squat 1RM over, and we want to leave this checked, Display Frequency Tables, because that's what we want to look for here. Let's go to Statistics, see what they have to offer. Now in this case, we not only have the basic statistics that we looked at, we have skewness and kurtosis as well. We have all of these dispersion scores, so central tendency, variance, range, min, max, standard error of the mean. So you see here that central tendency and dispersion or variability measures are listed in separate places, but we also have percentile values that we could calculate. So let's grab quartiles and maybe let's look at percentiles. We could look at the 10th percentile, 20th, 30. So we're essentially going to be looking at the deciles here. So I'm just adding all of these, starting from 10 and going to 100%. All right, and let's click continue. And then let's take a look at our charts. Let's look at histograms with the normal curve and click OK. Now you'll see the descriptives are listed a little bit differently. It's slightly different format, but still pretty cool. So we've got the total number up here, mean, standard error of the mean, median, mode, and then down to our measures of variability, standard deviation, variance, range. These are all the same things that we got before, but they're in a different format. They're vertical now. And then we get these percentiles that we asked it to calculate from the 10th all the way to the 100th percentile. That's pretty cool. Now scrolling down further, we get a frequency table with a cumulative percent over here. And this is listing it for all of the scores. But let's look at this histogram. That's very cool. We have the curve graphed over the histogram, so that's helpful. We can clearly pick out the mode as far as which bin had the mode or the most scores. All right, so that was number 2. Now let's move on to number 3, the third way to calculate descriptives in SPSS. So go up to Analyze, back to Descriptives again, and this time we want to click Explore. Now, there are now multiple places where you can put your variables, right? So we want to move back squats over to the dependent list, but there's also these this factor group and an option to label cases. Now, what's really cool, let's say that this data was broken down into males and females. What I could do is move the gender or the sex category over to that factor list, and we can split the analysis on that factor. I don't have that in this data set, but if you wanted to separate your analysis into males or females, or it works with more than 2 groups as well, if there were, let's say, 3 different sports teams, soccer, baseball, and volleyball, you could split the analysis of the descriptives on sport. And then that way it would give you 3 separate groupings of those statistics. Okay, but in this case, let's just leave it as that. Check out the statistics. Now we can even get outliers. We could still get percentiles. Let's look at what graphs or plots we can get. Let's leave out the stem and leaf plot and trade it for a histogram. Continue. Let's look at our options. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's click OK. And now you see in our output window, now we have descriptives. We get a little bit of a deeper analysis here. So we get a trimmed mean. We get the 95% confidence interval for that mean with the bounds over here. Skewness and kurtosis automatically. Here are those percentiles. Now this goes 5, 10, 25, 50, 75, 90, 95. Some extreme values. So these are the highs and the lows, right? So there's we know that 224 was our max value, but these are kind of the outliers on the high end and the outliers on the low end. And then we get our nice histogram again. Okay, but we also get this box plot, which we haven't talked about yet as far as this video series goes, but we'll talk about box plots later. It essentially shows you where the outliers are, where the standard deviation cutoffs are, and helps you to further analyze your data. If you missed it, I already did a video on how to do most of this stuff in Excel, so make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. But SPSS is just really nice because it does all of these plots and these graphs automatically for you, and there's a ton of nice point and click options. So sometimes in Excel you're starting from a blank slate, but SPSS, because of all of its menu options, it reminds you, oh yeah, I could check kurtosis and skewness, or okay, yeah, I'll grab a histogram or a stem and leaf plot. And it's just a really nice set of menu options for you. There's 3 different ways to do it. The descriptives analysis will be the most simple. Frequencies is the next step up, giving you the option to look at histograms. And then the explore analysis, that gives you a ton of information. So if you're doing a research project or something like that, or an exploratory analysis, that might be a great option. All right, guys, thank you for checking out this SPSS tutorial video. If you had any questions, let me know down in the comments. Now I'm testing out this new night mode, so let me know if you guys like it down in the comments. And if you want to know more about stats or kinesiology, check out some of my other videos or playlists. As always, move well, live well, and keep teaching other people to do the same.